Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name is James, and I'm currently sick as a dog. So if I cough, sneeze, or sound weird during this video, I do apologise. I'm trying my best. I'm just gonna drive. So last week was the first week of December, and it was not too bad, to be fair. We did 28 jobs last week. And out of them 28 jobs, 7 of them were covered by Courier Exchange drivers. And 6 of those drivers were spot on, absolutely fantastic, and did really good jobs. I've given them all positive feedback. Brilliant, lads. Well done. Something I've done for a while now, and something I like to do, is I like to give new people a chance to do a good job, and I'll give them good feedback. So out of the 7, 4 of them were reasonably new, joining the last few months. Very, very little feedback, but all good feedback so far. So the cat's pissing about over there. But one of them now has a complaint, and that complaint has come from me. What happened was, I got a load of quotes on the job, and there was 2 companies out of about 14 quotes that didn't have any negative feedback at all. He was the most expensive, but still a cheap rate, I'll be honest. It wasn't, I know you pay pennies, you get monkeys and all that jazz, but he was new, so I thought he's probably going a bit cheaper just to get his feedback up. Looked at his profile, all good feedback, and he had 2 vehicles on his profile, a LWB and a Luton. The job was for a medium wheelbase. So in my head, there you go, he's going to send the long wheelbase or the Luton. Phoned him, and it didn't go to plan straight away because I actually booked this job out at 11 o'clock at night. And I phoned him within 2 minutes of him quoting. So he quoted at 11 o'clock at night. When he answered the phone, he was very arsey, like, what are you phoning me this time for? I said, well, I've got to phone you to confirm you want to do the job for tomorrow morning. And then he went, I'll phone you back, and put the phone down. So I thought, oh, bit strange, but whatever. Thinking about it in hindsight, it may have been a driver, and I phoned the account number, so he may not have known about it. But he phoned me back about 2 minutes later and said, yeah, we want to do the job tomorrow. So I said, right, okay, I'll send the booking through. Sent the booking through. On the booking notes, it said, medium wheelbase, 3 metres required. Simple, really, isn't it? And the only van they've got is a long wheelbase and Luton, so 3 metres is nothing. Easy peasy. Until I get a phone call the next morning off the customer. James, why have you sent in a transit custom? I said, I've not sent in a transit custom. The company that I've sent in don't even have a transit custom. They've only got a long wheelbase and the Luton, so transit custom's like short wheelbase to medium wheelbase maximum. No, there's a transit custom here trying to load. They won't even fit in height-wise, let alone the length. I was like, all right, okay. Phoned him. He was like, oh, no, really sorry, I've sent in the wrong van. I'll send in the Luton. So I said, okay, thank you for rectifying it. That's brilliant. I thought, right, it's going to be fine. Phoned the customer, said he's going to send in a Luton. 5 minutes later, oh, we're not sending in the Luton, actually, because that van should be big enough. So if you don't want that van, you just have to cancel. So I cancelled the job, and I found another driver. That driver went in. He was also new. Also reasonably low priced because it was the only quote I got. It was the first quote I got, and I just dove at him because he had good feedback and he was new. Spoke to him on the phone. He was like, yeah, we're sending a Luton in anyway. They sent the Luton in. The job got done. I phoned that driver back, the first one, the original one, and said, why have you sent a transit custom in? He said, well, that's our long wheelbase van. I said, transit custom's not a long wheelbase. He was like, well, when I put the reg in, that's what it came up as. So I said, well, yeah. You get a transit custom L1 and L2. One's classed as a short, one's classed as a long, but they're not classed as long wheelbase vans. That's just of that model. He was having none of it. Very, very argumentative, very wound up by me cancelling the job on him. Because of how rude he was the night before, because he sent the wrong van in, because he said he'd rectify it, and then decided not to rectify it, and then because he was very argumentative, I thought, it's going to be a negative feedback. Put negative feedback on his page. I was very honest with what I said. We asked for a 3 metre minimum van. He's only got a long wheelbase and Luton on his profile, so we don't know how he's ended up sending in this smaller van. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you noticed, but once you've sent a booking to someone, they can still see that booking. So on that booking was the details of the company they were picking up from, including a phone number, and the fitter who they were delivering to, including a phone number. So Dum Dum from Dum Dum Logistics decided, I'm going to phone them and make a complaint about this courier company.
Ooh, you're hard.
Not that they actually cared, and they were very annoyed about the phone call, but they were like, oh, fuck off, basically. Do one. But that then led to them coming back to me like, what is this driver doing? So I phoned him. He said, oh, it's not me doing that, it's my driver, and I've sacked him now. I said, well, if you've sacked him, how has he still got on the profile to look at all the details, etc.? Oh, he must have took a photo of them. I said, have you just sent a photo of this job to somebody else to do the job? He was like, no, don't know what you're talking about. So I said, well, why does your profile say you've got a long wheelbase van and a Luton, but you've sent in a transit custom? He was like, no, transit custom is a long wheelbase, mate. You don't even know what you're talking about. I said, how long have you been doing this? He went, oh, 2 months. I said, how long have I been doing this? I don't know, mate. You're probably pretty new, aren't you? No, I've been doing this a long time. I'm pretty good with my van sizes. That conversation didn't go anywhere. I thought I'll just leave it. That's it. That's enough. Negative feedback. I don't need to make a complaint or anything. Negative feedback will do. Until I got a notification off Google and he'd left the company a Google review. And I thought, oh, I don't care. Do you know what? I don't really deal with Google reviews. We don't really deal with the public. We deal with businesses. Not many people look on there anyway. It won't be the first time I've been attacked on there before. The previous time was by my own dad.
Sad, strange little man.
Until I looked and he put pictures of the job on with his complaint against me, with all the customers' details, all the fitters' details, and his number and everything. They put it on Google for everybody to see. I sent him a message with the terms and conditions of being on the Courier Exchange, which says you can't screenshot images, you 100% can't screenshot images and post details of the job online anywhere. It wasn't me, mate, it was my driver, and I don't care. It's not going to affect me. So I said, right, whatever. So I made my initial complaint to the Courier Exchange. And my initial complaint about him taking images of my customers' details and posting them online was dismissed. Because they'd only deal with me if I could guarantee that he'd sent in the wrong size van. But luckily enough for me, Dum Dum Logistics had actually sent me a message with an image of a tape measure in the back of their van showing it was too small. And it was off his number on his account. So therefore, I sent that to the CX and my complaint got verified and put on his profile. So Dum Dum Logistics now has 8 positives, 1 complaint. And they're only a few months old, so I don't think they're going to do very well. And I blocked him. I've always took advice from people that know better than me. There is so many couriers out there that have messaged me and like, oh, you've done this wrong, or you've done that wrong, or whatever. And I've always gone, oh, right, yeah, I understand now how I can see it differently to you, and how you're right and I might be wrong, etc. And I've always took advice, especially from people that have been in this industry for a long, long time. And I tried on the phone to give him advice as someone who's been in the industry for 16, 17 years now, compared to somebody who's been in the industry for a few months. He partially took my advice, because he actually changed his CX profile to show different size vans. He doesn't have a long wheelbase anymore. He's put his transit custom down as a short wheelbase. So therefore, to me, he's acknowledged that he was wrong by doing that, but it still got him in a complaint because of the way he acted. Since actually making that complaint, we received a further 3 negative reviews on Google, all from the 2 directors of the company with slightly different account names. 2 of the accounts were made just to give me the reviews. Google have taken a few of them down, there's still 1 up, so we're not a 5-star rated company anymore, we're a 4.7 rated company, unfortunately. But that's what you get for dealing with utter morons like Dum Dum Logistics. My big takeaway from this thing is, and I've said it to people that I know, I'm going to have to stop giving new people the opportunity to do the jobs, because time and time again now it's bit me in the ass. Whether it's people who don't know the van sizes correctly, don't know how to price correctly, you try to have a conversation about it with them and they just ignore you, or people that think, oh, this is just like Shipley, I'm going to get 5-6 loads on my van and then take them down south. Doesn't work like that, and that's what we seem to be getting more and more from drivers on the CX, unfortunately. That specific customer, now any of their jobs that we do for them, which is out of a couple of different bases, I cannot send a driver in that I do not know personally. So someone I've never used before cannot go into any of their sites. Before I send a driver in, I've got to give them the details and how many jobs they've done for me and stuff like that, which is madness. But you got to keep your customers happy. That's who pays you. That's who pays the drivers and everything. And if you don't keep your customers happy, that's how you lose them quickly. Unfortunately, idiots like this do exist on the Courier Exchange, and I know I've spoke about this probably 10, 15 times now in these videos. If you're going to join a platform where you're offering a service to businesses and to people, you need to offer the best possible service. Being rude on the phone, argumentative, and being a complete and utter asshole is not offering the best service. There's so many companies on the exchange now, just in general. There's too many drivers, too many companies, and there's too many with masses and masses of negative feedback because they just don't know what they're doing. And I think the best thing for them people to do is either to hang it up and do something different, or learn very, very quickly that you have to be respectful to people. Yes, if people aren't respectful to you, you may want to see your ass. And I've said this before, just try and keep calm even when people aren't being very nice around you. And other people have argued that you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to, but it's better to do so. It's better for your company's reputation if you're not a hothead who argues back with everyone, or if you do the right thing rather than the wrong thing, or you send the right van rather than the wrong van, or you do a good job rather than a shit job. It stands out. It stands out to people, and that's how, in the end, you gain people that want to use you more regular, and eventually you may find your own customers that way by doing a good job for people. That's all it takes, really, isn't it? Right, I think I've chewed your ear off for long enough. Sorry to be making another video about a shitty CX driver. Dum Logistics, I wish you all the best doing something else. Hang your keys up. Get a different career. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.
A few inches later.
Just a little update. It's later on in the day. I've just looked at my Google account again, and I've got another 1-star review. And guess what? It's from the same company. And do you know how I know? Because the account was created 2 hours ago. They've done 2 reviews, one for me and one for Speedy Freight Stockport. If we go on their account on the exchange, they've got 2 negative reviews now. One from me, one from Speedy Freight Stockport. It's pretty obvious. So that's 4 1-star reviews in a matter of a few days. Obviously that's not good for the company's look, but we'll get them dismissed anyway. Thanks for watching.